Yeah, good evening, everybody. Anybody who's out there? Is there anybody out there?
I'm
Um,
here.
we're here if nobody else is. Yeah. So, what were you saying, John? So, let's just give us a let's just go in and do that recap. Straight into thick of it.
Do you want me to go?
Oh,
Shall I
go
do
on
it?
then. Yeah, why not? Step into
So
the breach.
we didn't do much last week. So this week, so we spoke to Alexander's
Oh.
brother.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name because I've lost my notes.
Um,
Wasn't a happy chappy. Believes his brother should.
Graham.
Graham. That's it.
Graham Roby.
Believes his brother should stay in prison. He'd be mixing weird woman. Gerald taking
Oh.
What's happened to your audio, John?
Your audio's gone a bit doolally.
Am I still here?
Oh no,
There you
that's
go,
it.
that's
Oh,
That's
there
it.
you go.
So Alexander was knocking around with a woman. This is the person that his brother wasn't keen on. Apparently, she was a cultist, not a cultist, occultist.
Very weird.
Very
Yeah,
weird.
Yeah, she was into.
So we got her
Stuff.
name. So, but we kind of drew a blank. We were trying to find out maybe she was in like an occult society. But Gerald will tell you that
And
lady's
yeah,
name.
we weren't very good at that.
Um,
Delia Hartson.
yeah, that was Delia Hartson.
I don't know if you know Delia. Helpfully as well, our Graham had decided to burn everything related to his brother. Like, everything. It's like, oh, have you still got his diaries? No, I burnt them. Have you still got any of his clothes? No, I burnt them. Have you still got any of his books? No, I burnt them.
We reckon he would probably have burnt his brother if he would have been able to.
Yeah.
And then we spoke. So I think we're on fairly good terms with him. We said I'm gonna come at it like a neutral standpoint. So if
Yeah,
I do believe
But he
his
was
brother,
very keen for his brother to be
To stay.
burnt.
Yeah.
Basically,
So-
blames his brother absolutely for the death of his father and his sister. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, he just needs to stay there and rot. Can't believe they're letting him out.
And he was convinced that this Delia Hartson had
Something to do with
it
that,
as well.
and deserved to be burnt.
but they had split up, didn't they? Was it about
Yeah.
a month before the incident?
Oh yeah,
But he doesn't know who dumped who. We also at that house at Graham's house, we spoke to the cook that was employed because she was employed at the house where the murders happened, and then she passed us on to the old butler and maid that were at another household.
Yeah.
And we spoke to them, and they just confirmed what we'd already been told, really, by the police.
Yeah,
but
although
that shrill whistle.
there was a shrill whistle before the attack and the big crash. Bay windows smashed open. Yeah.
They couldn't really say anything about the woman, though, could they? Just that she used to come to the house.
She used to come to the house a bit, but nobody really liked her, so they kind of discouraged her, I think, didn't they?
And Alexander might have stayed overnight at this woman's house, maybe. So we think she might be Londoner, local.
But yeah, we tried tracking her down with no success.
What else do we do?
There was also the murders. We talked to Inspector Stevens, who investigated the case. We managed to blag our way into talking to him briefly.
Nearly got arrested.
Nearly got arrested. Nearly spilt some coffee, but it was fine. And the murders were done with two separate weapons.
We'd been told that already as well, so we didn't. I don't think was there anything new.
Yeah, it was just confirmation. Yeah, really. The house was broken into while Alex was in the study, but I think we knew that already. We know about the nurse giving Alex pencils.
That was one thing that I don't think you would have known. Because I asked, had he written anything when he'd got these pencils? Did he write anything or draw anything? And he'd been writing poetry, hadn't he?
Yeah, been jotting,
but they
scribbling
burnt
things
it.
down like poetry or in the margins of
In the margins,
some
but
of his books.
His
but
brother
you know, nobody
never
kept that.
mentioned
So
poetry,
because
did he?
why would that be important? And I think the only modicum of success I had was I found a haunted book in my shop.
Oh yeah, you found a book. Oh, I didn't do my own work. I do apologise. We got that link
I
on.
found a copy of the I found a copy of The King in Yellow just to keep everybody sane.
Yeah. So the Robert W. Chambers book of weird tales rather than the actual King in Yellow.
I have got ideas.
Sorry,
a few more lines of inquiry, but are we all going to meet up for breakfast if we've got a day to kill?
Well, we want to know how the hot date went, don't we?
That's what I mean. If we meet
yes.
up and it can fill us in.
Oh yeah, so it is the morning. So yeah, it's the morning of the 29th, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. So
first thing before I actually meet up, I would like to give the Dr. Highsmith a phone call first thing in the morning before he goes out, does anything, because I've got a couple more questions for him. What I thought about.
Just one more thing.
Yeah, just another thing. I just want to. He seems very eager for us to go on the train with him. So I'm just going to confirm that we are all going to be travelling on the train with him tomorrow.
And that he's not planning to kill us.
Yeah, he's the bad guy. So phone his hotel.
I wouldn't be surprised, to be fair.
Crack of dawn, so he can't have gone anywhere unless it's been a dirty stop out. Do I get him?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Why not? I say before. Let me pause this.
Good morning, Doctor. I just have
Doctor?
a few more lines of inquiry. The nurse that you mentioned that was attending to
Nurse Evans. Yes.
Nurse Evans. I was going to ask for his name, and we've already had it, haven't we? Do you have his first name?
Yes, of course. It is. And he pauses for a moment as he tries to think what that is.
You can just
Mark Evans. Yes, Mark Evans.
Mark Evans.
As I say, is one of my more competent staff members.
Oh, indeed. Did he work at the institute before you took Alexander on as a patient, or did he arrive after Alexander?
About a month after. It was taken on with a couple of other staff members.
So you say he's a nurse. Does he have any medical skills? Did he show you a
Oh
CV?
yes. As I say, he's one of my more. He's probably the most competent member of on my staff.
That's very good because we can trace him. If it's not lying. So Mark Evans was definitely a nurse. So after he was found with the patient, with Alexander.
Yes.
Did he continue to have access to him at the appropriate time?
Yes. So
you didn't restrict him seeing him.
No, the Nurse Evan was reprimanded, and he amended. He amended his attitude to the work. To be fair to Nurse Evans, he was probably going just a bit above and beyond what is normally expected. It's a standard practice to engage on a social level with our inmates. As I mentioned before, I do tend to restrict outside access, so the myself and staff members are generally the only level of social interaction our inmates receive.
Did you see any references from his previous employer?
From Mr. Evans. Yes. He's like, as I say, he's.
So do you know what what institute he worked at prior?
Yes,
top of your head?
I have a list of. I couldn't recall them offhand, but yes, I had a list of references.
Rightio.
And as I say, is on the practical. I mean, I should mention that the staff are trained largely in house. They don't have any medical official medical training.
Oh, so he's not really a proper nurse.
Oh
he's more,
no.
he's-
Well,
he's like he's an orderly.
no,
What am I-
no. So perhaps I should explain. So I have at the institute, I have a staff of about 25, include of course as myself. So 7 of the staff are classed as nurses. 14 orderlies, and then there's 3 administrative staff. So the nurses have we provide them with a minimal level of training, and they're responsible for administering medicines,
That
and
was
seeing to
my
a
next
patient's
question. So
patient's
he
general
would
well-being.
he would
The
have
orderlies, on the other hand, they handle all of the duties, everything from janitorial and laundry work to physical restraint.
So he would have access to the medication, medicating the
Yes.
patients when needed.
Of course, all these things are strictly monitored, strict records kept.
I'm sure they are. What's anything else?
I'd be more than happy for you to peruse the records, Dr. Bancroft, if that's if you
No,
have any concerns
I
on
do.
that.
I will wish to interview Nurse Evans,
Oh.
but that can be done when we
Nurse Evans.
when we get there. So
If you feel it's appropriate.
have we got lodgings at the institute, or do we need
I
to find?
can provide you lodgings at the institute. I must say they are somewhat
Padded.
Spartan. I would call them somewhat Spartan. I mean, I can put there's guest accommodation in the administration building.
Oh,
but
we'll make do. I'm sure
it is
it'll be
somewhat Spartan. There are a couple of public houses in Weeberley. I believe the Wheat Sheaf.
We'll
I believe it's the
probably
Wheat Sheaf
reside.
has rooms. If
We'll probably reside at the institute.
as I say, you're more than welcome.
It's
But
probably
I
easier.
must apologise ahead of time, as they are basic to say the least.
I
But
think
this
that's
is my.
Would you remember off the top of your head? I know I'm asking a lot about this Nurse Evans, but where is he from? He's not a local, is he? Was he from London originally, or?
Well, I believe his previous address was in London. Yes, if I recall correctly. But he currently as do some of the other
Does he
staff.
have
He resides
a London accent? Is he?
No,
would you say,
no, I wouldn't say I had a typical London accent. No, I was just pondering that myself. To be honest, I couldn't actually place a specific dialect on his accent.
Isn't he Welsh? Evans, isn't that a Welsh name?
It is a Welsh name, I suppose. Yes, but no.
So
But he currently, as like I say, as with several of the other staff, he resides locally in the village.
That's very good. I just wanted to confirm a few of those details.
No
So
problem.
yes, me and my colleagues will be meeting you tomorrow for the train trip.
Excellent,
to the
excellent.
institute.
That's excellent news, Dr. Bancroft. So that will be the train is due to depart at 10:20 tomorrow morning. Paddington Station, platform 1, I believe.
Very good. So
I would advise being there a little ahead of time. Although, to be fair, I do expect the service to be delayed for obvious reasons.
we'll get there.
I mean, have you looked out the window today? The weather is not giving up at all.
No, I'm sure we'll get there in one piece.
Yes, I'm sure. Well, I believe the lines I believe they've been able to maintain clearance of the line. So so it shouldn't be too much of a delay.
we'll wrap up warm, and I'll tell everybody to pack the best winter clothing.
Indeed.
We'll see you tomorrow. So have a good day, Doctor.
Good day to you, sir.
And then I'll go and meet my friends.
Okay. So outside there is a blizzard. So snow is coming down. It's that thick and fast, obscuring visibility, bringing visibility down next to nothing. So travel today is across London is even harder than normal. Again, which means the underground, which is the only real reliable form of transport at the minute, is particularly busy. But you managed to meet up, perhaps a little later than intended. At where are you meeting up?
Greasy Spoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mrs. Miggin's pie shop.
Mrs. Miggin's pie shop down
For
Pudding Lane.
a good strong tea.
And it's not a horse's willy, she's silly.
Does anybody remember? I think I'd spoken to the doctor before on the phone. Did we mention the name of the woman to him if he'd heard the name?
You did, yes, and he said
did.
he said that he didn't
I
recognise.
think we did, yeah.
So he said that Alexander had
And no visitors. Was
No.
that another thing? No visitors.
no visitors. No. So the first name he was familiar with, the second name he wasn't.
I do find
because-
it slightly suspicious.
Sorry,
It
Dave?
mentioned her name because he had
Yeah,
a
I think
relationship.
he'd like in his night terrors and
Yeah.
what have you. I do find it suspicious that this nurse has joined the institute like a month after.
So yeah, he wasn't the
He's
he
been
wasn't the
committed.
he wasn't the only one that took on a few new members of staff around the same time.
Yeah, but he's the only one that's been caught.
He is.
Like,
He's not
giving
the
him
only one,
pencils
obviously.
and-
Well, nobody knows who gave him pencils. So Evans was caught, was found with Alexander on a couple of occasions for which he was reprimanded, and it's not happened since.
that
and
they
he-
know of. So he's just been
Yeah,
more careful,
possibly.
basically, is what we're saying.
But the pencils, nobody knows who gave him the pencils. But
Mm.
Alexander, he's not made any attempt to hide them, or if he has, then the poor attempts, probably due to his medication, if nothing else. So
Yeah.
yes, so you are meeting up. You meet up in some establishment, eating establishment somewhere, presumably.
Yeah. So over breakfast, I'll have spilled all that out. Gerald will have. So we wait a reply from our good friend Charles. What Charles has been doing?
I had
Yeah,
a gig.
Charles.
Some
I
work.
had a- I
Excellent.
had some. That's why I had some work for a new and upcoming fashion outlet, glove modelling,
See, we
If
heard
you
you
look-
were on a hot day.
and that was in the evening. That were my evening with the female that we saw previous. So yes, I don't want to spill too many beans about it. You know, it might go somewhere.
I hope you're not going to get her into trouble, Charles. I hope you're going to respect the young lady.
Absolutely, I'm a professional, a consummate professional.
Just a gigolo.
That's it. Yeah. Well, there were no money that changed hands. But yes, we had an entertaining evening, shall we say, after my long hours at the fashion shoot for the new leather gloves.
Leather gloves.
Leather gloves.
Driving gloves.
Perforated leather gloves, tan brown.
Nice.
His and hers.
Do
So-
we get mates rights on those?
I've got 5 free sets, so next time I pop back and I can let you all have a pair.
That's everybody's Christmas present sorted, isn't it?
So,
Yes.
Bob's.
how well do you think you got on with Gene Hewitt?
Personally, fantastic.
So, shall we see how well you actually got on with her?
Yes.
If you want to make a charm roll, I mean, is there anything you want to
This is
add
going to
to?
be in the 90s, isn't it?
Is there anything you want to add to that might give you a bonus dice or possibly even a penalty dice?
I mean, I paid for dinner. I took her out. I took her to the finest eateries.
Mrs. McGinn's Pie Shop.
Could you
No,
afford
no,
that?
no. No, it was a little bit more upmarket than that. It were eel pie.
Very nice.
Yep, and mash.
Doesn't
And mash.
mash.
All the trimmings.
All the trimming. So I took her there, cracked a few nice bottles of wine, took her around some of the sites, and yeah, two or three, red and white mixing. So yeah, I think I entertained her.
Did you let her drink any of it though? Or did you
I
just
did,
get absolutely hammered yourself?
Absolutely. It went one for her, one for me.
So, what are the topics of conversation?
We spoke about work and upcoming work, and about I dropped a few names in there of people that I know that I could potentially get in with and look at some future upcoming performances that I think should be suitable for.
So, but just about work.
No, and then just sort of about her personal life and how she's getting on, and then just about us, and if she'd like to take this any further.
Go on, then, I'll let you have at least one bonus dice, then, I guess. Make a charm roll.
Yeah. Let's see what this turns out like. Fantastic! Look at that.
Okay, so yeah,
Skin of the teeth.
So yeah, you made a reasonably good impression then. You probably made arrangement to meet up again at some point. Maybe see each other on a regular or semi-regular basis.
Yeah.
Interestingly, though, you did when you were regaling with your stories of your acting antics. You got the conversation was drifted over to the performance of the play at the Scala Theatre, and she tells you how she's glad it's all over, that the play's been cancelled, because she found, although she wasn't particularly impressed with Talbot Estes' work, she found it a little amateurish, not his best work. It's a constant. She puts this down to exhaustion, mental exhaustion. But she
From
says,
the play, or
from
just
the
that
play,
she had
from
anyway?
the play, from the constant rehearsals and that Talbot insisted on, almost like non-stop. But she says she started to suffer from rather vivid dreams, or what she further clarifies as being nightmares. So she said there were these recurring themes in these dreams. She doesn't remember much, but one of the things that sticks in her that stuck in her memory was this a still form, a figure whose robes moved as if blown by a wind that wasn't there, and this half-seen city, sort of almost completely obscured by mist, that she knew was Carcosa from the play. As you say, she puts it down to mental exhaustion, because this is what they've been doing this over and over and over and over and over again. It's it was all in the as she's telling you, you recognise the themes and some of the things from the actual play. but she also remembers dreaming about these vast fish-like creatures that were swimming. She's not sure if they were swimming in water or swimming in the air, but they were like swimming and diving down and around and above a white city. Uh, that's pretty much all she remembers. But these dreams left her when she slept and she had these dreams. Instead of feeling refreshed from sleeping, she felt even more exhausted, and she'd wake feeling tense and nervous.
She only had these while she was rehearsing and doing the play.
Yes.
Once she'd stopped, then these stopped.
The dream. She's still just still there a little bit, but yeah, mainly faded. She also knows that at least one other of the cast members um, was having dreams as well. The like disturbing dreams, but she doesn't know about anybody else. As far as she knows, it was just her and Hannah.
Okay.
So Hannah was played the part of Casilda, and of course Jean played the part of Camilla, who is Casilda's daughter. But yeah, so she tells you about that, but it kind of brushes it off.
Is she quite, like quite coy about it? Just mentions it sort of in passing, but as like more of like a throwaway sort of thing that she's just said she's been having. That
Yeah.
Does she sort of like think anything of it? Does it? Does she just?
No, not anymore. Like I say, she feels
Okay.
she feels she's got over it. But like I say, she puts it down to mental exhaustion of the stress of the constant rehearsals and just the just the subject matter just getting into her head.
Yeah, I mentioned it to everyone then at breakfast while we're talking about it that it came up in conversation with her as well, that she's been having these recurring dreams, nightmares just through practice, and about the other girl Hannah as well. Then
What role did Hannah play in the play?
She played Casilda, the queen.
Oh, so she's an older woman.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to know if they had the same dream, or I presume it's the same type of dream.
Any other females in the play?
I think it was just those two. Let me see. So, there's Hannah. Yeah, I think it's just those two. Yeah, it is. Hannah and Jean are the two female actors.
So the only two females had the strange dreams.
Yeah. Well, as far as she knows, nobody else.
As far as I'm aware, no one's mentioned it. Yeah.
So she were quite. Her and Hannah are quite good friends. So that might be why.
This isn't role playing. This is more about the game mechanics. When we watched the play, none of us failed our sanity, did we?
No.
Right. Something that we didn't tell you, Charles, when we were using the underground, weren't we? We went down the stairs into the underground, and we caught this guy graffitiing near the steps.
Yeah.
The word king, and he ran off, but there was another 3 or 4 graffitis of the same word, king, 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 king.
As you went down?
Yeah, what had been done previously by somebody else, different handwriting, different coloured paint. Something, I mean, there's a king. That play is about a king. There is something weird going on. People having the same type of dreams.
The train's not till tomorrow, correct?
Yeah, we've got the
Yeah.
entire day, so you could
Well,
go and speak to the other actors.
It's probably worth speaking to Hannah if we can find her.
I'm going to go and speak to a semi-colleague of mine. Hire him to do some digging.
We got a bit choppy again there, John.
Oh, it's because I've got my finger in my mouth, maybe. I'm going to hire a private investigator that I know, who I've used before for my work. I'm going to get him to do some digging for us. Instead of us trying to do it half-arsed and not knowing what we're doing, he might be able to find out some information about these people. It might take a week, it might take a couple of weeks, but he's a professional. He should be able to do it. But after that, I will need one of you to come with me to carry something.
So regards Hannah. So Hannah, her husband, who was also in the play, and their son, who played the young child, named child, they've all returned home to Scotland.
Right. Do we have contact detail? Is there any way we can contact them?
Jean might.
I'll go see Jean and see if she's got contact details for him then. I guess.
Did you say the director, the producer, had been having dreams as well?
No, he'd not mentioned anything.
No, I thought she mentioned it just then when you were.
Oh no.
Only when he finds out you've ruined his butt.
That'll be nightmares, not dreams. It's terribly expensive, don't you know? And it wasn't even good quality coffee. Gerald.
Should have spilt it.
Well, yeah. So yeah, I guess Jean. So will she have contact details for him then if I speak to her? Last night when I spoke to her over dinner and she mentioned it, and she mentioned about Hannah. Could I have got contact details from her then, if she had any?
Make a look roll. Oh no, not a look roll. Make an idea roll. See if it crossed your mind. Not a look roll. See if it crossed your mind. It did. So yes. She has an address for them in Scotland, because she does, as she said, she's a friend of hers, so they do correspond on occasion.
Only through writing?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. I'll take the address. I guess I'll go to the post office or library. Would I be able to find anything there, or would I be able to contact like the exchange if they've got a phone? Is there any?
No, I don't believe there's central telephone directories or anything like that.
Well, you can phone up the operator and they'll help you out.
Yeah.
If you've got the address and they've got a telephone number, an exchange should be able to connect you. I would have thought.
Or just even if I'll get the number from them. I'd have thought.
Yeah. Fair enough. I suppose.
Yeah. I guess I'll. If we've got a phone somewhere, or is it public?
No, I don't think there is public phones. There might be phones
None
in
yet.
hotel lobbies and things, but they'll not be.
Does Gerald have one? Does the bookstore have a telephone? I didn't. Maybe not.
Gerald?
Does
Hello?
does
I don't think Gerald can hear us. Can
Gerald?
hear
Can
us?
you hear?
Oh,
It's called David. It's called Dave.
Gerald, Dave. Does your
Who's this
bookshop?
Gerald?
Who's Gerald? It's like what? Does your bookstore have a telephone?
oh, well, I would imagine so.
Excellent.
It's
Well,
rather
I am.
difficult to deal with my suppliers if I had to be going to the public call box.
Yeah, it doesn't work though because you don't pay the bill.
Well, it does get occasionally. It does stop working for a couple of months at a time, which is very mysterious.
Is it currently paid up and working?
I believe who was lady what's on my face that she likes to help me out. I believe so.
Right.
See
Okay.
if there's a dial tone.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you got dial tones back then, did you? I think you just picked up and got to operator.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, you
Pressed it a couple of times.
Yeah, or dialed.
It,
Dialed it. It connects to the some kind of exchange.
Yeah.
So
just reverse the charges; it'll be fine.
So the way that they work, they can't directly connect you.
No.
What they will do is they will try and find that number through the because they'll have to contact various exchanges, and then they'll have to make a connection, and then they'll phone you back. You'll get called back when there's if they're able to make a connection, and then after that, presumably you can make a more direct connection.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'll wait for an hour or so while they.
I mean, that's certainly how it would. I believe it works something like that for international calls. So I'm presuming we're going to say that's how it works for long distance calls in the same country as well. Why not?
Read a book.
I can put the kettle on.
Yeah. Read a book.
You're all right.
Read a book or two.
If anybody knows how the telephone system worked in the 1920s, please enlighten us.
Google.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah. So the upshoot of it is that basically you do eventually get to talk to them. Well, let's see. You can make a look roll at this point to see if they actually do have a telephone. Not everybody does have a telephone. They do. So yes, at some point you do get through to them.
Excellent.
And in the meanwhile, while you're waiting for that telephone call to happen, what is Harry and what is Gerald doing?
I'm worrying about my phone bill. Mainly.
I think we're going on a trip. We don't know what we're going to get up to when we're there. So I think we need to be prepared. We don't want to be in a situation like we were in the tunnels. what we don't talk about. So everybody pack a torch for starters.
Pack a torch, pack my spare pair of socks.
Walk it.
Maybe some good walking boots. We might go for a walk.
I imagine we're going to get stuck.
Definitely winter clothes.
A knife.
Long johns. Knife.
A pocket knife.
I'm sure they've got a knife and fork at the institute.
Yeah.
So yeah, just things that you might need, like a crowbar, lockpicks, that kind of thing.
Dynamite.
Those reasonable items, everyday
reasonable items. So I'm going to go and see my investigator friend. So you two can sort out what you're doing at the shop, and then I'll go and see my investigator.
Well, I'm just watching Gerald look at me terribly unhappy about me running up a phone bill.
Well, shall we sort out your visit to your investigator detective friends?
So this investigator is going to be my backup character for when Harry dies, because I imagine he's going to die or he will go insane. So it's just I'm linking him now.
Very good.
He's worked for
Are
me
you going to
before.
send him daily letters as well as?
Yeah,
what you
he's
do?
going to be devastated when Harry dies, and he'll want to get the bottom of his bottom of his death. So,
In-depth diary. So when he reads it to get an update, he goes completely mad
Of
as
course-
well before he even
of
starts.
course, I keep a journal. So this inquiry agent, I'm going to say he's probably ex-military. He's called Edward Barnes or Eddie Barnes.
Eddie Barnes.
So you might want to take notes, Phil, but I have got the notes. So I'm going to
This is
mention
crazy talk.
the person that we're looking into, Alexander, where we're going. The woman of interest, that is the person I want him to try and find out any information about, to find out who she is. So my thinking is, if she's based in London, she might have registered to vote because it's 1928 and women have just been able to vote. We're in October. That came into law in May. So
Somebody has been doing their homework.
So she's possibly registered to vote if she's interested in politics. That is. The other thing, births and deaths. So using that name, if she's a Londoner, he'd probably be able to find. It's an unusual name, so he might be able to find out where she was born, or who her parents are, and her parents might have an address for her. So that was another line of thought. So that would be at the registry office for births and deaths. And then we know she's interested in the occult, and we know Alexander was writing poetry. So maybe there's a link with poetry. Maybe she has an interest in poetry. Just another line of inquiry. Maybe if he can look into Alexander, maybe he can find out some more information about him, who he was mixing with. What was the other thing? The nurse. I wanted to try and trace this nurse. So what was it? Mark Evans. I think he might be from London. I'll phone him up in a few days after I found out where he was supposed to have had a job before, so we can actually make sure he is who he says he is. So that's two people of interest and Alexander. So if he can do any digging on them, and I'll pay him his normal rates. I'm going away tomorrow, but I'll phone him in a couple of days to see if he's had any success with anything.
So Delia Hartston. Delia Hartston. Fair enough.
Can I see if I can? They found the whistle, didn't they?
They didn't. It was Graham had it destroyed.
Obviously, but we had a description of it, I believe.
Yes, it was black, and it the housemaid or the servants, house staff, I can forget which it was. She said it looked. It put her in mind of like some kind of bird or something.
Yeah, I think it was the maid.
Yeah.
Can I have a scooch through like my occulty section of my bookshop, possibly a friend's bookshop as well? Maybe see if I can find any records of such things.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Seeing as that's about the only occulty things that we know about, because his brother burnt everything else. I'm going to take my copy of The King in Yellow with me. Might help out. Alex might want something to read, bit of a laugh in it.
See what his reaction is.
in
Yeah.
an asylum. At least
Yeah.
he can't run away.
Well, exactly. He might want to, if I take some crayons with me as well, he might want to write in the margins.
There you go. Give him a pencil as well, eh?
Yeah.
So, Charles, you get hold of
Hannah
well, it's a
or a
husband,
husband.
that actually answers the phone.
Oh, okay, he was in the play as well, wasn't he?
He was,
So
yes.
that's fine. His name is.
His name is, when I find it, paging through the book. His name is Keith. George.
George.
So George Keith, and his wife's name is Hannah Keith.
Good morning.
So George played the part of one of the sons and also the priest.
So I asked. Good morning, George. Charles Astor. I just wondered if I could have a minute of your time. We came to see you in a play, The King in Yellow, that you were part of.
Oh yes, that fiasco.
Yeah.
That's my best Scottish accent. That is. I'm not even going to try.
How did you find it?
Well, it's more a hobby of mine. It's more to support my wife. My wife's more the more serious actor.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on the play?
I couldn't make head nor tail of it, to be honest. But a tosh.
Yes, agreed. What was the thought of getting your son involved?
Well, Talbot was looking for a child actor. He was offering to pay them, so it seemed a good opportunity to make a bit of extra money.
Did he pay you well?
Not bad. It was enough to take me away from my usual job.
Did you notice during rehearsals or during the play or anything like that if I don't know, did you feel weird or did you notice anything untoward? Just with yourself, with your wife, with your child?
Not particularly. My wife, I believe my wife had trouble sleeping or maybe headaches or some lady problems.
Yes. Yeah. Anything from your son?
Not that I know of. I mean, I don't. No, not that I'm aware of. No, my wife never mentioned anything.
So just your wife. Just your wife had trouble sleeping or issues.
Yes. As I say. I'm sorry. I don't follow what this line of questioning.
No, I totally get that. It's been a little bit vague. The reason for my call,
especially
is,
when you're phoning out of the blue. I've never spoke to you before.
Yeah, it's. I'm sure we can meet up next time you're in
a little
London.
concerned. Now you got my phone number.
It took a great deal of effort. I will tell you that. But it's. Do you know Jean?
Yes, Jean is a good friend of my wife. Yes.
Yeah. So speaking to Jean, it was just concerned that
a little flighty for my tastes.
Yes, you could say that. But she did complain of strange dreams and trouble sleeping as well.
Women.
I don't suppose you know what type of dreams your wife had.
I don't trouble myself with things like that. As I say, I suspect it was just lady problems.
This is a long shot, but is your wife available? to speak to her? I'd just like to. Is your wife available to speak to about this? It's just that I'd like to clarify some of the points. Just corroborate what Jean told me.
Oh, you can make a. Ooh, let's see. A persuade roll.
Let's work down the list. Keep going down. Yeah. Okay. Okay. This needs to be extremely lucky. No.
How about
You'll have to forgive me, sir, but I don't I don't take I'm not having strangers speaking.
No.
About
Okay then. What about if I asked you and then you asked your wife and you could come back to me? It'll take a minute of your time. It is quite important.
I think I've had quite enough of this phone call.
It is. Oh, God damn it. Okay, that got us nowhere. I'm left with a phone at my mouth and by my ear. I'm like, oh.
Smells of coffee.
Yeah. Poor quality coffee.
Gerald, you can make a cult roll.
Ooh. Do I get a bonus dice for it being my own bookshop? And I know where things
yes,
are.
why not? Why not?
And
What is your occult skill?
30.
Wow.
This is why I have the book, so I don't have to remember it.
we all need to roll as luck.
Yes,
we should
you
have had a luck refresh.
A luck refresh.
And you can spend it on that roll. Or maybe not.
I appear to have got lost in my own bookshop.
So you do find out that whistles and whistling in general is a component of has been a component of magic since like ancient times.
That was a we want to fail that one roll.
Yes.
That's the second time I've succeeded on something I want to fail.
Nice.
There you go. Spend that luck.
So yeah.
I didn't get enough to be spending.
So whistles and whistling is since ancient times has been a part of some ritualistic magic.
Okay.
Beyond that, any more details?
While I work.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah.
Okay. I'll pass this deep and meaningful knowledge on to my compatriots. It took me all day to find that out. Really hard at work.
So all we know about that whistle, it was black, something like a bird-like. Did we say?
Yeah.
Was it metal or was it wood?
I didn't know.
Well, it burnt, so I'm presuming
it was burnt.
Yeah, it was burnable. So you know.
It might have been plastic.
It was burnt, and smashed, and ground up into dust.
Scattered to the four winds.
Yeah. Plastic hasn't been invented yet, has it? Is it Bakelite?
No, it'd be Bakelite.
Yeah.
Which is, I think it'll just become brittle if you heat it up too much. Okay, that didn't go so well. If only you hadn't burnt everything.
After I've seen my inquiry agent friend, I will come back to the bookshop.
Okay. So you all reconvene at the bookshop. It's maybe getting on to it's about 2:20 in the afternoon.
So
I'm going to tell them everything I know about whistles. Very exciting.
What are your gentlemen's opinion, or what is your opinion on us obtaining some firearms?
I mean, I've used one in a play before with blanks.
I'm
but
I'm concerned that there's a possibility that there's people that mean Alexander harm. There are 2 murderers on the loose that are involved with the death of his parents, which may still have some fascination with Alexander, and I don't fancy a confrontation with strong words. And I've looked down the barrel of a gun before, and I don't want to be in that situation defenseless. So we can't. We'd have to get a license to get a handgun.
Yeah.
It's doable, but we haven't got time if we're going on this train. But we can go into a gun shop and we can walk out with shotguns. So I'll buy you all a shotgun. That'll be my gift.
how will we transport them?
In a gun bag?
Duffel?
Yeah.
A duffel bag?
No, they come in a bag.
Something like the gun
you
slip.
can openly buy a shotgun.
Yeah.
That.
You can.
There's no restrictions on buying smoothbore weaponry. So you can walk into a gun shop. You can even saw the barrel off if you want. That doesn't become illegal for
Until
years.
you use it.
Well, it's self-defense. No, it's quite common practice for like middle-class people to go shooting. So
Yeah.
we're going. This asylum, I presume it's like countryside. We're going to do some shooting on us downtime. So that's why we're carrying shotgun.
Buying for everybody?
I'm
A low
going to go
bore?
for 3 12-bore shotguns.
12-bore shotguns.
$40 each, and
okay.
I also want a 12-gauge pump action shotgun, which is $70. It's the Army back Winchester M1912.
What's that?
It's in the player's handbook. I mean, most guns are quite, especially shotguns, like mass-produced, but that's. I presume they'd be fitting people out for hunting parties and things like that, but there'll be people that are wanting to go abroad on expeditions, so they'll have it. They'd have one. It'd be covered.
Yeah.
And
okay, I can do. I'll have to make a sheet up for the other one. I've got 12 gauge shotguns which you can drop on people's characters.
Well, we're not going to be using them, are we?
No.
We're going to go and shoot some birds. And so it's 12-bore ammunition. I also want to buy slug ammunition as well.
Okay.
Oh.
Hunting elephants, are they?
Yes, indeed. Don't you know there's a lot of wild boar? No, because that has stopping power.
12-gauge shotgun.
We're talking about somebody that smashed their way through a door, smashed their way through an upstairs window. So we're talking about somebody that's possibly insanely strong. So I if we do have an engagement, I want to make sure that they go down. So I want slug ammunition as well.
So what? So you wanted 2 12-gauge shotguns? Did
No.
you say?
Three 12-gauge
Right.
shotguns, one each, and then I
Right.
also want a pump action as well. So
Right.
it's $190, and then 100 rounds of normal ammunition.
British equivalent. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I say, I'll have to write up a thing because it's not. I haven't got that in the items list at the minute. Where's ammo?
I've got like a daily spend limit of $50. I presume I just have to prove who I am. I could write them a check.
Well, it comes out. Yeah, it comes out of your. So you got your daily spend limit, and then anything beyond that comes out of your like what's it called?
It's out of your, I've
Out
got
your
cash.
cash. Yeah, it comes
I've
out
got-
your cash. So you've got cash available.
I've got 300 cash, so
Yeah. Well, that's like, sort of.
and if any of you lose your sanity and kill me with a shotgun,
See if we've got ammo in here. If not, I'll have to add that at some point as well. Yes,
Right.
there's no ammo in the equipment list at the minute, so I'll have to add them in. So if make a note, I'll just make a note of that. What was that? That was a 12 gauge pump as well.
Yep.
yeah.
12 gauge pump and 3 boxes of shells.
I don't think we'll need all that. But whatever.
Each 3 boxes each.
Well,
They're
what,
like be like 50 or 100 rounds,
so
So,
just what one box? What
That's
one
quite
box?
a lot of shooting.
I was just going to say one of each. One of
okay, one box
normal
of
shells,
one
one
box
of
of shells, one box of shells, and one box of slugs.
as long as they're like 100 shells in a box.
I think it's like 50 or 100, something like
Oh my god, ammunition's expensive.
that. It is.
Is it as dear as a gun?
Yeah, that's ridiculous. So 12 gauge shell box of $25-$30. So that's probably that'll be enough. It I don't have price for slugs. We could just say it's the same for time being. I mean, I've got the money, so
Yeah. So you just have, like I said, beyond your spending level, you'll have to deduct it from your cash. So you'll have to adjust your
just-
cash. Well, you got a
just go-
spent. You've got
a
to the right of it. You got a spent box.
a box of each then. So
Yeah.
say another $60, so $250.
So yeah.
So it'd be 200 off my cash because I've got a 50.
So it's there. Just on your gear and cash sheet, there's a box that says spent to the right of the cash, and I'll just put it in for now. But yeah, you just input the amount that you've spent.
I mean, don't you owe us all 5 or 6 years of interest on his cash?
Yeah.
Time
Yeah.
I need to change my bank account. Gear and cash.
See, I still appear to have a rifle from last time. Never gave it back.
Yeah, quite possibly. It should be on your character sheet if I gave it to you.
Yeah.
Well, the
I'm
rifle.
probably,
It is. It's not, is it?
seeing as I can't shoot for shit, a shotgun is possibly
Oh,
a
it's not on there. Let's see.
better idea.
The rifle belonged to the gamekeeper, but the pistol belonged to the bad guy. But I presume that would have been used as evidence.
Yeah, that will have been taken. Yeah. Well, the rifle would as well, because the rifle was used to kill the gamekeeper. So yeah, that will have gone.
And smash out his brain.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I do seem to remember it getting used for
So
that.
yeah, they were all been taken for evidence. But I put a 12 gauge shotgun onto your sheet. So if you look on your in your combat section, there'll be a 12 gauge shotgun, but it's coloured in red at the moment. To the right hand side of it is like a little graphical representation of like a revolver, like a
revolver.
Revolver ammo drum. And if you click on that, well, if you put the pointer of it, it tells you how to work it. So left click adds a bullet, right click removes a bullet, shift left click fully reloads, or shift right click empties it.
We're not going to use them.
But obviously it's 2 barrels, so it only holds 2 things.
Just throwing away $200.
You're a very generous man. I'll take back everything I said.
Early Christmas present.
Not sure why it's red, but anyway.
Go and sell it now.
There you go. Right, okay. So, what else are you doing, if anything?
Should we rob a bank?
Yes.
Balaclavas?
It is cold.
Yeah.
Like do a small town bank job or post office. Let's do it.
Post office would be good
I say post office is probably
at this
the
day. Yeah,
easier option.
and
I
the
think
better.
I think we do actually need to have an early night because we've got to get up early doors because we've got to get to the train station haven't we, early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So just make sure you pack stuff that's suitable, and definitely
Are we
may need
are
a
we
torch.
as well? What time is the train?
I wrote it down.
10:20.
Yep.
Are we actually as well staying in town rather than?
Or we could stay near the train station, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, depends whether the DM's going to be a dick about it. Unless it is, like really, and I wouldn't want there to be a sudden mysterious blizzard that makes us miss our train in the morning.
We set every alarm.
Well, if that happens, we then go and rob a bank.
Yeah.
I can
Burn
assure you,
London
I
down.
will not interfere with your ability to catch the train.
I'm pretty sure that doctor really wants us on that train, so I don't think we're
Which does worry me slightly.
He did give you an open invitation as well. He said if you weren't able to make it, then you were, they extended an open invitation too. But
How long has he gotten to assess Alexander? Was it a couple of
it
weeks? or
is,
weeks?
yeah, it's kind of, it's about a couple of weeks, so it's mid-November.
Oh, so even if we missed it, we could just make his own way down.
Yeah.
So we've got a while for him to be assessed. But this nurse worries me. I don't like.
I am not a fan of the nurse. I do not.
Fake,
trust him.
fake nurse.
Well, I even thought about telling the doctor to make sure he doesn't have anything to do with him, but that might give away that we think he's up to no good. So I didn't say that. And we're going the following day. So
Yeah, and the fact the doctor's just quite happy to let him carry on doing what he's doing.
He'd have had
With
his,
a slap on the wrist at best.
he'd have had his marching cards if he'd have done it under my guidance. It'd have been gone. So yeah, we following day, let's go catch a train.
Okay. So, let's advance to the next day then. So, 30th, 12 hours, so it's 1, 2, 3. So the weather has improved slightly by the next day. It's still snowing, but which does hinder your travel across London. But you manage to make it in there, make it to the station in plenty of time, and you meet Dr. Highsmith on platform 1 at Paddington Station with a good 10 minutes or more to spare. So the train, surprisingly, leaves on time at 10:20 a.m. And departs from Paddington and is headed to Bristol. So it's an express train. There's only a couple of stops en route. And when Dr. Highsmith informs us that when you arrive in Bristol, you'll be making a change at Bristol to get a local train to Hereford, and from there, a driver from the institute will be meeting.
I'd have changed it to Gloucester myself, but it's just me.
So, is there anything you want to do on the train journey? So you're all sat in. Dr. Highsmith gets you not a cabin, but a compartment. You got a private compartment to yourselves. Kind of second class compartment.
Does he say anything about the gun bags?
I've heavily disguised mine as a cello.
Yeah, I imagine he probably does. Yeah, he'll probably comment on asking you what you've. Are you intending doing some
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're going to go do some shooting. We've got a spare gun if you want to come with us.
Well, it's, perhaps, maybe. It's I haven't shot any grouse for a while. I believe there's some good grouse shooting on the hills, particularly over the border.
Oh, excellent! We might check that out in the snow.
Yeah.
Yes, the weather's not ideal.
I think it's a pump. Try and just gently pump him for information
Okay. So,
about Alex and his staff generally.
okay.
How
Yeah, go on, sorry.
how many patients in total then? If he's got quite a lot of staff, hasn't he? 25.
Yes, how many patients has he got? That's a good question. I think.
I'm assuming all of these patients are like independently wealthy, or
Yeah, so they're
their
not. Yeah, it's not.
families.
It's not a. It's not a cheap. It's not like not. Uh, it's not
This is
like
more of the priory kind of
yeah.
thing where
It's
people
for.
put.
It's not certainly not cheap. No. So let's see. It's 2 3 floors. So
And surely he's not the only doctor. Is there another
yeah,
doctor?
he's the only doctor. Yeah, it's his. It's
Hmm.
his asylum. It's his institute.
Is he in fact minted?
Yes, it probably is. Yeah.
Well, it will be if everyone's rich and paying to stay there.
So yeah.
What's his like cure rate, or does he mysteriously never actually cure them? Because then they'd stop paying.
Why would you cure them? You lose money.
Yeah,
So yeah, Harry, you know this. So he's got is like as I said before, he is quite respect. He's not made, he's not really sort of stood out, made a name for himself, but he's known to be um, a good psychoanalyst. Is is he's got a good reputation, and he's not a quack. He's not some like backward medi. It's one of the institute, the St Agnes is one of the more modern asylums in Britain. So a little bit of that's possibly prompts a little bit of background about asylums in Britain. So in 1929, British asylums remain kind of backwaters of science. It's not really respected. It's still not really a respected area of science, or even considered a science by some people. So the push in asylum practice for the past 2 centuries, has been to harness neurosciences to therapeutics. That effort has become a dead end, and the cure rate in asylums has dropped in the last decade from about 40% down to 30%. Along with what is often a geographical isolation from colleagues, illness or psychiatrists have also been excluded from sharing in medical research. Many of their medical colleagues view psychiatrists as dull second-raters at best, if not little more than spa doctors and homeopaths. In fact, according to Elliot Slater, a psychiatrist at Maudsley Hospital in London, many of an asylum superintendent's habits might resemble those of the landed gentry, invited to tennis parties at the rectory, fishing, and even riding to hounds. Unlike in Germany and Central Europe, where the state supports asylums liberally and physicians perform scientific experimentation. In Britain, the morale of the psychiatric community is very low. But there is help on the horizon. There is signs of a new scientific approach emerging, and there is a focus starting to shift from the asylums themselves to universities and institutes such as the new Tavistock Institute in London. And here there is an urge to investigate the links between the mind and brain through systematic and measurable research involving experimentation on humans and animals through the use of testing drugs and the examination of brains post-mortem. So all nice, but yeah, it's basically it's kind of on the cusp of psychiatry receiving serious attention. But at the moment, it's still generally regarded, certainly in the medical profession, as like hokum to a certain degree. It's not very well. It's not very well respected at all. But St Agnes's Asylum is one of these asylums that's on the up and up, or on the better, more modern, modern asylums with a more modern approach. And as I say, Dr. Highsmith is well regarded. Like I say, he's not made a mark for himself. He's not not like yourself, who's made quite a name for yourself in the field.
Yeah, but I'm a charlatan. I'm a con man.
But yeah,
aren't we all?
That's why I hang around with these two.
Yeah.
he has a good reputation, essentially. But for your trouble of asking him about the asylum, his staff, his patients, you quickly discover that although Dr. Highsmith is a pleasant man, his conversational range is very, very limited. He talks almost exclusively about current psychoanalytic theory and medical practice, which is interesting, particularly to at least to Harry Bancroft. But even to Harry, this quickly becomes tedious as Dr. Highsmith quickly eschews any attempt to steer the conversation onto other subjects. He'll quickly find some way of turning the conversation back onto his area of academic expertise.
He basically lives and breathes
Yes,
his job. Is he married? Did we?
He's
did I ask
not.
that before? He's not married.
He's not married.
To the job.
He's married to the job, yes. So, after seeing what seems like a much longer journey than it actually probably was, the train finally, after making you make a change at Bristol, and the local train finally pulls into Hereford Station late in the afternoon of Sunday the 30th of October. So it's getting on. It's not that much. It's gone on to about 4 o'clock. Getting on to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So the weather. So looking around, the countryside is completely blanketed in at least a foot or two of snow. But the roads look to be well maintained and cleared round here. And true to Dr. Highsmith's word, you're met at the station by a driver from the institute who motors you out towards Werbley, away from Hereford station and out to this small village of Werbley, where as the time passes, it's clear that you're going to be, liked or not, you're going to be spending the night out here. So Werbley lies about 20 miles northwest of the county town of Hereford and about 20 miles east of the Welsh border. Your first impressions is that it appears to be primarily a farming community. That you catch sight of beef cattle and dairy cattle. You see what must be apple orchards, quite plentiful. And as you pass through the village, you can see that it's limited amenities. Mainly, its main business is a farm supply company. There's a joint post office and general store, and as Dr. Highsmith previously told you, there's two public houses: the Wheat Sheaf, which offers rooms, and the Red Lion. So St Agnes itself. Let me see. I think I have some. maps? Do we have some maps? Or not? I'm sure we had a map of Weeble somewhere. Yes, let's have a look. One moment while these load up. But yeah, St Agnes Asylum itself sits on a hill about a mile east of the village. So it's reached by an unpaved, rutted track running between broad, dry stone walls. So the track has been kept clear. It's quite wet, muddy, and the car slips and slides a little. But the driver seems to be quite sort of skilled, expert, and probably very familiar with the road. So he what will probably end in somebody else at the very least scraping the car along the waters, the dry stone walls. The driver manages to definitely keep the car under control. I could have sworn I had a map of Webley. Apparently not. So as you approach, you see that the main building is a longish, 3-story grey brick building with barred windows and a steep slate roof. Beside that stands an administration building, similar in appearance but smaller and without bars on the windows. The two structures sit on a hillside that has been cleared of all trees, nearby trees and bush, making it look like a bit like it gives you an impression of it a bit like an exposed fortification sitting on top of this hill. I believe we have a little picture of the exterior of the institute. There we go. There we go. I did have a map of Wibbly. So that's the institute there. See,
Very charming.
and this is a map of Wibbly, if that's how we pronounce it.
Ooh, lovely.
See if we can pull that back on top. There we go. Okay. So on there you can see there's the two red buildings. You can see they're highlighted in red there, the two public houses.
And the castle.
It's more. You drove past that. It's more of a just earthworks. There's no actual castle there anymore.
Yeah.
Is that those buildings to scale? Because the asylum, in comparison to the church, is tiny.
No, they're not. I don't believe so.
The church is a cathedral.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a really big church.
Or it's important.
I have no idea. Possibly not.
Are we in? We've decided to stay at the asylum, haven't we? I do believe.
Yeah, that was the plan anyway.
So, like Dr. Highsmith has already told you that there's the staffing level. So there's like 25 members of staff in total, including Dr. Highsmith himself. So 7 nurses, 14 orderlies, and 3 administrative staff. So as the car pulls up outside the front of the asylum, a few of the attendants appear at the doors, and they gaze sullenly at you as you disembark from the car and walk across to the administration building led by Dr. Highsmith. Let us go to Dr. Highsmith's office. Oops, that's the wrong controller. Sure, we'll see something in a moment. Can you see Dr. Smith's office?
No.
No.
I
Yeah.
can see 89% of it.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, we shall wait until it's.
Yeah. I see.
I see nothing. A grey screen.
Well,
Oh, it's
You're-
not.
myself and Gerald have sat down. You're stood up, I'm afraid, Charles.
Oh, that's okay.
You can
I'm the
only
younger-
afford 2 chairs.
That's the younger Mar.
If you don't see it after a moment, just press escape until the refresh. That window comes up with the refresh application.
I think Andy's just.
No, it's back in.
browsed. Only
All
back.
right. Cool. Can you see it, Dave?
Not yet.
Pulled
98%.
Seems to have pulled you across. Oh, there you go. Right. Shall wait till you've loaded up.
So it's in the evening now, isn't it?
It's so it's late afternoon. So
Oh,
so as you cross to the administration building and the doctor leads you to his office, the clouds of a wind has picked up and is sort of clearing the clouds out of the sky, and as the sky's slowly darkening, you can already begin to see like stars, pinpoints of stars coming out in the late afternoon sky. It's dark. It's getting dark, quickly getting dark because it's like I say, it's gone 4 o'clock. Can we,
A spot of tea?
Yeah.
Coffee?
It's funny you should say
The-
that. So, once in his office, Dr. Highsmith offers you tea, and he also gives you copies, gives you Alexander's file, as he promised.
So can I peruse that, please?
You can.
I presume we'll interview him tomorrow. It's late.
Oh
isn't it?
no!
Being-
I've made arrangements for. I've phoned ahead and made arrangements that we do to conduct the interview this evening. I'm keen to get things moving, and
Please,
this
please.
this hour this time of day would be a good a perfect time.
Oh, I may need to interview him twice because we've been travelling all day. I need to read the notes. I need to take those in. So I won't be at my best.
Oh no!
So-
by all means, we'll take a moment. We don't have to. I don't mean to. Sorry, I
Maybe-
didn't mean to give the impression that I was rushing you in there now. Well, we'll take tea and we can discuss the case a little. But yes, I've arranged for the interview to take place this evening.
Oh.
As I mentioned, time is quite important and limited. So, if there's anything more you want to ask Dr. Highsmith, now is the time.
I do wish to interview, or we wish to interview Nurse Evans at some point, but that can wait till tomorrow. Don't need to tell him that we want to interview him. We'll just interview him.
No, let's spring that on him. Did Alex bring any personal possessions when he?
He did not. He had little to no belongings. A few clothes that he was wearing, and some hygiene products. But other than that,
Everything else had been burned. Okay. I was just kind of hoping he might have brought at least something.
Is that the case? I'm unaware. I'm again, as I say, my knowledge of Alexander's family life and a lot of his background is absent.
His brother, he basically said Alexander is dead to him. But that's the impression I got.
Burnt all of his belongings, everything.
So he, when you start talking and mention it, because I think this is the first time you've actually said to him that you've spoke in depth to his brother.
I thought can't remember. I thought we had mentioned it to it.
Yeah.
Not the last
I think you
phone
might have
call,
mentioned it, yeah, but yeah. So
I said I was going to fill him in on the
yeah.
train.
So
thing, yeah.
he asks you to pause a moment and gets a notebook, and he starts taking notes as you relate your meeting with his brother.
You said he's had no visitors at all. Nobody's visited him.
No, as I
Has
say,
anybody made contact to try and visit him, like wrote a letter or phoned
No.
to try and speak
Nobody
to him?
has. No.
Nobody.
The only contact has been between myself and Dr. Trollope regarding Alexander's case.
Do you keep a log of when you're giving your patients medication of
Yes. Oh, yes. Yes.
what orderly, what nurse
Yes.
hands
Yes.
out
Yes.
the medication? And
Yes.
I want to cross-reference all the times he has a funny turn. Who's dishing out the medication to him?
No problem. I can give you access. I can get the administration staff to pull all those records and give you access to those after you've conducted your first, at least your initial interview. As I say, if you wish to, you're at liberty to conduct your
He's
the
he's self.
assessment as you see fit, Doctor.
He's not. He won't be restrained in any way. Is he just? He will just sit in a room while we
No,
interview him.
no. He's Alexander isn't restrained. He's not a violent patient. We've never had any problems with him with any violent behaviour while he's been with us.
Will you want to sit in on the
No,
interview?
no. I think it'd be far more fruitful if the patient sees only new faces. However, I would like to get a transcript of the interview. So I will be sending my secretary in to be present, and he will be taking shorthand of the proceedings. I will of course send him one of the nurses, Nurse Price.
How much interaction has Nurse Price had with him over
Nurse,
the time?
Nurse Price has had an equal amount of interaction with Alexander. Is the system of rotas make sure that staff have equal access, have equal interaction with all the patients.
Okay.
Is Nurse Price a male?
All the staff here are male. Nurse Price is, by the way, just in case you were confusing, Nurse Price is not the nurse that was caught. That was
that's
No, that's Evans.
Yeah.
Evans.
And your secretary is that a male or female?
all the staff here are male, Doctor Bancroft.
Do you not like females working?
I just find it. Most of the patients here are male. In fact, I think all. Yeah. So I think. Yeah. I'm going to say that all the patients here are male. So I find it best.
No distractions.
Yes. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly, Doctor. Exactly. So there are a couple of points of procedure to observe, which, again, Dr. Bancroft, I'm sure you'll be familiar with. As I say, although Alexander is not dangerous, I would ask that you ensure that no hat pins or other sharp objects be carried into the room, or indeed out of the be removed before leaving the administration building. And additionally, there will be a male, as I said, there will be a male orderly, Nurse Price, present in the. There will be present in the cell with you at all times. I must stress that even should he ask, Alexander should not be given any news of the outside world. I'm sure you understand this process of isolation, Doctor.
Not really, no.
I must warn you that Alexander may say little, and what he does say may seem may seem or be irrelevant to what to any questions asked of him.
Is anything likely to trigger him and set him off,
In
or
what way,
maybe
Mr. Astor? Would it trigger?
is there anything that he's been known to react to in an aggressive or
No,
unusual manner?
No. As I've previously stated,
That's
we
fine.
have no we've had no cause for concern in that regard. So Alexander is being a model patient with regards to such matters.
Okay.
So what's for tea?
I will have the staff prepare some food when you conduct the interview. If there's not any more no more questions, we can get things underway.
Can I quickly look through the notes?
If you wish to peruse the notes beforehand, yeah, that's quite all right.
Well, I could do it while they're eating or whatever, Carter.
You can do it later because the food's not ready until after. So
I just want to have a shufty through before going and
okay.
get attacked.
So essentially, I'll give you the file. So do you want me to show it to everybody?
I don't have to read it out. Yeah.
So it's essentially everything that you've seen before.
Not much, is there?
So basically, this is like main points you can glean from the file. And like I say, you've already Dr. Highsmith's pretty much related most of this to you already.
Yeah.
All things like logs of medication stuff are kept in a separate filing system, and he's like, as he says, he shall make all that available to you, along with anything else that you require. We'll have to get the administration staff to pull all that paperwork for you. So, I suppose we can run. Do you want to run through this? What there is?
What on that? No, it's everything. You've said it all before.
I'll say, I think, we've seen it all.
Yeah, it's what we already know.
We know that anyway, don't we? Yeah.
Pretty much. Right. Okay. So while you're finishing up your cups of tea, digestive biscuits, a large, silent man in white uniform enters the room. Says, this is Nurse Price. He'll be accompanying you in Alexander's cell. So the Nurse Price kind of nods, greeting at you, but he doesn't speak. So, well, if you're ready, gentlemen,
proceed. Let's go see him.
So you leave Dr. Highsmith's office, and as you're walking down the corridor, a bookish-looking man joins you, slightly hair thinning, slightly on top, pair of wire-rimmed glasses perched on his nose. This is Mr. Reeves, my administration assistant and personal secretary. He'll be, as I said, he'll be taking notes. He'll be making a shorthand record of the interview. Mr. Reeves verbally greets you all and shakes you, offers his hand.
I will shake his hand.
Okay. So you leave the administration building. Outside, it's rapidly getting dark, and the temperature has dropped dramatically. You instantly start to shiver and shrink inside your clothes. Try and keep warm. So above you, the sky is completely clear, and there's just the sky. There's just like an abundance of stars scattered across the night sky. Are any keen astrologists?
Astrologers.
The only star, the only star is me.
Very pale, dim star.
That's the reflection, Gerald.
Is it? I could try some occult or natural world.
You can make a hard natural world, I suppose.
Hard natural world, you
Yeah.
harsh man.
I am indeed.
Come on. Stars? What
mean,
stars?
They're stars. They're definitely stars.
Do we not like travel on the back of some sort of elephant?
Yes. Sprinklings of fairy dust across the heavens.
Definitely, that's it. It pays to get the catastrophic fails out the way early.
Okay. So Dr. Highsmith escorts you out of the administration building and into the courtyard and along and into the main building. Inside, there's a nurse busying about arranging food on a trolley. And towels.
Was that Nurse Evans by any chance?
It is indeed. It does indeed say his name. So, as you enter, this nurse stops what they're doing and looks you all over, and then he starts to walk over and says, "Dr. Highsmith, I have a question, sir." And Dr. Highsmith's just like, "Not now, Evans, not now." And he just completely blanked him and says, "This way, gentlemen, this way." And he leads you off. So Nurse Evans watches you all go up the corridor and then returns to his job, what he's doing, continues what he's doing.
Suspicious.
Maybe he's a good guy and it's the doctor that's the baddie.
Possible.
Right.
Well, we've got his card marked, haven't we?
So the sound of footsteps and muted sobbing echoes back up the bare stone corridors as Nurse Price leads you towards Alexander Roby's cell. He unlocks it and leads you in.
What sort of state do we see him in when he opens the cell?
Okay, so when you enter, Roby looks up. So he's little. It's hard to tell exactly because he's sat down on the bed, but he appears a little more than medium height. It's quite thin and gaunt, with dishevelled, straggly, straw blonde hair, and the really piercing hazel eyes. So he's only wearing sort of this kind of uniform, the inmate's uniform. But even so, it's quite dishevelled and it's hanging off one shoulder, and it's not. You get the impression he doesn't really is. From this and the fact that his unkempt hair is not really seems to be one that's really takes care of his appearance, whether that's because of his mental state or. But despite this, there's something compelling about him.
Alex, how are they treating you, my old mate?
So he ignores you. There's no response when you say something to him. But then he looks up from where he sat. And he's, Delia?
Alex, old chap.
So he just gives this puzzled look and doesn't respond. He's like I say, he's dressed in this white canvas tunic and trousers, and his room is tiny, dim, and chilly. There's a bed, a table, and a couple of chairs. There's no possessions in the room except for a stack of a few books on a nearby table. There's a small barred window that's high up on the wall that gives a clear view of the night sky.
God, like 20 grand a year doesn't get you a lot, does it?
No.
Is the table? I was expecting it to be more of like an interview room, not in his actual cell. I want to be able to sit down and talk to him properly. I'll say this to the orderly. The nurse.
Yeah.
This just won't do. This is not how I would talk with a patient. Do you have a room that's more suitable?
No, I'm orders from Dr. Highsmith that the interview must be conducted here. If you require a chair or something, sir, I can fetch you a chair, certainly.
Maybe if I can have that table, I need something to be able to take notes and write on. So if you pull the table in front of him, and I'll sit at the chair opposite.
Okay, yeah. So he does that. It kind of puts pulls you up a chair, brings you a chair out the corridor.
And you can. I'll look at that. Is it Reeves?
Yeah.
If you can write down in your notes, I don't think this is acceptable. I've been asked here to interview and give my thoughts on this case, and this just is inadequate. And write that down. So
adjust his glasses very well.
So I'll take a seat. I'll put my notes or my notebook in plain sight of him and my pencil. Delia, do you want to see Delia?
Reeves owns his pad and takes a pen from his pocket, poised above the paper.
I thought Miss Hartson and you had separated.
Apologies to everybody.
Cat's anus.
Everybody take a sanity check.
So is Gerald and Charles, are you wanting to do anything while Harry's doing this? Or
I'll just sneak a peek at the titles of some of those. Get out of there, you tit.
Who's that by? Who's the author on that one?
It's a strange title of a book.
My interest is perked on these books.
Yeah, I'll just sneak a peek at some of the
Okay,
titles.
Charles.
No, I'm just sort of stood back at the moment, observing and just sort of.
Okay, should we take you so remove you so you're not inside Gerald?
Yeah.
Well,
we are friends.
Right. Okay. So I'll just briefly tell you, give you, say we can see these books. So Gerald, you know, looking at these books, you know these are all books of poetry. You're probably familiar with at least some of them, if not all of them. So they include From Our Ghostly Enemy by Robert Graves, The Freaks, An Idyll of Suburbia by Pinero, and Poems 1918 to 1921 by Ezra Pound, and finally The Man Who Died Twice by Edward Arlington Robinson.
so these are kind of a bit weird, but fairly not mainstream, but
No, they're not mainstream. Not mainstream.
but they're not like completely crazy
No, they're not obscure. They're kind of more sort of somber, maybe sort of darker poetry.
Yeah,
More,
but
it's a bit,
nothing of
bit
any real value either.
no, more somber, a little surreal. I mean, I can certainly give you some examples of some of the some of the poems if you wish.
And so I recognise some of the names.
So, for instance, one of the couple of lines from one of the poems in the Robert Gray's book. Is it called just titled 1805? At Viscount Nelson's lavish funeral, while the mob milled and yelled about St Paul's, a general chatted with an admiral. One of your colleagues, sir, remarked today that Nelson's exit, though to be lamented, falls not inopportunely in its way. He was a thorn in our flesh, came the reply. The mock bird-witted, unaccountable, old little runt that ever did I spy. One arm, one peeper, vain as a pretty poll, a meddler too in foreign politics, and gave his heart in pawn to a plain moll. And it goes on.
It's not exactly fucking daffodils, is it?
No, no, it is not. So, anyway, back
Um,
to
I take it there's no like notes in any margins or anything. Just have a-
you can flip through them all if you want, and I'll tell you if you can find anything like that.
yeah, have a casual.
Okay, so there's like I said, there's maybe half a dozen books, so take your moment to flick through.
Yeah, while he's like talking to people, I'll just have a.
Okay, so if Dr. Bancroft, if you want to wish to continue your line of questioning,
I can hear a woman manically laughing.
yes,
And there's no women
no, it was
in
just
this asylum.
it's the best.
He lied.
It might just be high pitch, might just be
Oh
effeminate.
yeah.
That might be
Insane.
his insanity.
So, Delia. I always say Delilah. Delia. I thought you had parted ways. Would she still wish to see you? Do you want to see her? Do you love her? Your brother didn't like her. Tell me about your poetry. You like poetry. Do you have any poems you want to say for us? Do you write your own poems? Is he doing what you're doing, just not engaging?
It's talkative, isn't it?
Just looking, kind of tips his head to one side and being locked in this room is inconvenient.
Well,
It means I cannot finish my work, and so I cannot.
what is
go
your
where I would like to go?
what is your work, Alexander? What work do you mean?
Right,
Your poem.
He pauses and looks and appears to look at you. You're not sure if he's looking at you or looking just straight through you. He says, you know, few writers have the ability to write honestly. Truths are used for for entertainment only. That is a strange concept. Barely grazes what is of import. Such a writer is like a man whose only concern is to hide his ignorance. Willful misinterpretation. Shut mind, closed eyes, tight mouth, balled fists. It's not enough to have the ability. You must be brave enough to use that ability. Bring your intellect to bear. Like a light in darkness, like a sane man in a world of madmen. And he smiles ruefully to himself, falls silent.
So, if you get your freedom, if you're released, what will you do? Will you write yourself? Is that what you want to do? Write? Are you a writer? And I'll look at my pencil.
So his head drops almost between his knees.
Tell me about your father and your sister. Why?
Have you seen the pallid mask? Have you been down by the lake and seen the beauty and felt the rightness of it all? Edward said to work only with him. Are you here with Quarry? Why are they not here? Is it this year? Once in 5,000 years? Has Quarry brought the king in yellow? Is he already amongst us?
Who is this Quarry you speak of?
Then he looks up at you and stares at you and says, have you seen the yellow sign?
I will
Yes.
draw.
Yes, I have.
I'm going to draw it on the piece of paper on my notebook and make sure he sees it.
Right, he looks and he nods. Seems to think for a moment, and then his voice changed. The Candace of his voice changed, and he speaks begins to speak in like a monotone with no feeling or emotion, almost as if the words he's speaking unimportant and wasted upon you. What Edwards and I are doing now harms no one, but I have been worrying about Malcolm Quarry and the conversations we had. I think that, despite what Edwards might think, that Quarry is right. The King in Yellow has called himself the White Acolyte.
Does Delia know these people?
Right, he suddenly fixes yourself with his like piercing hazel eyes, and you can sense this tension in him, and it's almost, as you look at him, it's almost as this tension becomes palpable in the room, and you can feel and sense this change in the atmosphere in the room. And looking around, you can see like everybody in the room becomes visibly tense. Even Nurse Price, who's kind of silent and stoic, he begins to shift uncomfortably from foot to foot. And then Alexander raises his knee and his knee starts to shake, and he's tapping his foot.
We need to lighten the mood. Maybe Charles could do it.
I don't think he will stay away. So here is a kindness. I would like you to pass on to him, for when he sees that the king does not offer him what he hopes, to divert the king's attention away from our earth and back upon the dream city, he must think of Casilda's song. And he begins to sing. The stars that burn their charcoal death shrink back, they feel the hoary breath of he who ransoms great Carcosa. He flees where queen and prophet met, where twin suns fall but never set, escapes the tomb of last Carcosa. And he reaches across and grabs your hand. Tell him. And then his hand drops away, and this sense of tension just drops. He's gone from the room, and he falls silent, becomes completely unresponsive.
I missed the very first bit. Who is he telling us to tell? Was it one of the names?
So what does it say?
Was it either Edwards or Malcolm Quarry?
I think he just said tell him.
Yeah, but I presume it's
So
tell
the
one of
last
them.
bit he said, what Edwards and I are doing now harms no one. But I have been worrying about Malcolm Quarry and the
Right.
conversations we had. I think that, despite what Edwards might think, that Quarry is right. The King in Yellow has called himself the White Acolyte. I don't think he will stay away. So here is a kindness I would like you to pass on to him, for when he sees that the king does not offer what he hopes, to divert the king's attention away from our earth and back upon the dream city, he must think of Casilda's song. Then he repeats, sings that, then picks up the song, which is which you all recognise. That is the song from the play that
On
you
the
saw.
fly.
So when I drew the sign on the piece of paper, obviously I wasn't verbal, so the guy that's taking notes doesn't know
No.
that I triggered him with that drawing, I presume. So he's kind of retreated into himself. I'm going to try and carry on trying to talk to him. I want to. Do you have any friends here, Alexander? Nurse Evans, is he your friend?
So you continue to try and reach him for maybe 10, 20 minutes or more, but all your attempts are met with no response. He appears to have withdrawn completely. You can make a psychology roll.
Can I just beat it out of him?
Use the shotgun.
Yeah. 12 bar
Psychology.
Just for Mr. Bancroft.
It's my job.
This is his job. This is him doing his job.
Let me fail.
I thought I was better at psychology than you.
I'm the psychologist. Dagnamit.
I thought you were a psychoanalyst.
I've got both.
Psychology or psychoanalysis, which it's really psychology because she's trying to determine psychoanalysis to heal him. So this is kind of assessing.
I've actually got more in psychology.
So you got boom. Okay. Right. So you're able to make you make a preliminary assessment. So you
batshit crazy.
No, I think he's of sound mind and should be released straight away.
So it's your opinion that his behaviour suggests that he's operating according to some internal, his own internal reality that that you've got no access to. Is some set of rules, something that's is internalized.
Probably what Nurse Evans has been feeding him.
And there's no you strongly suspect there's no ability to for reasoning with him. There's no reasoned argument will be have no benefit. There's no success. No. But you also get the impression that there's something deeper to his condition as well. But you've not with that standard success, you've not quite got it.
What if I burnt the luck? Can I not have a greater level of success?
You could if you wanted to.
What did I get? 20. I can't do maths, so you tell me.
So it'd be hard would be half, isn't it? So
yeah, 37. You need 13 points of luck.
Oh, 13?
Yeah.
It's for spending after all. That'll take me down to 23.
You doing it?
Right, isn't it? Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Chance of opening him up a bit.
So you get a definite sense that, like I said, there's something more to this, and you strongly suspect that Alexander is being manipulated by somebody with a stronger will than himself.
Oh, I've kind of gathered that already, but now my character knows it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah. So I know that I've got access to him again if I wish. So
Yeah.
I can.
You can also all make an idea roll at this point.
I'm wondering whether to try and let him have my pencil.
Idea's power, isn't it?
Oh, and by the way, sorry, I should nip back. I should just jump back to Gerald. So, in The Man Who Died Twice, you find scribblings and notes scrawled all over, like written across pages, written in the margins, written on the borders of the book, and they're all kind of. It almost reads like the disjointed snippets. It reminds you of like almost like a dream journal, but it's really random and surreal. You can't make much sense of it at all. But it's got that particularly from your from your extensive reading, it's got that feel of that surreal feel of dream journals and dream interpretation.
Can I pocket the book?
Well, you don't need to pocket the book. You can probably take the book. I mean, like Dr. Highsmith has said, that you can conduct the assessment as you see fit. So, as long as that's done in with Dr. Bancroft's consent, he's in charge here after all.
Yeah, if you've seen writing, we will take the book.
Yeah.
Does there was no acknowledgement. It was asking for this Delia, but he's not. He didn't. There was no response when I was inquiring about it.
It's almost as if he thought for a moment Delia, that she was here.
So that makes me think whether she has been here.
So
but more in his dreams.
So you've all. So apart from Charles,
I saw nothing.
Who kind of drifts off when he's thinking about his next interpretive dance. Make it like basic.
He likes the poem, obviously.
He wants to make a play set in an asylum.
Yeah,
that's it. I'm getting some ideas.
But yeah, Gerald and Harry, you've seen evidence that there appears to be. Roby appears to have some helper or confidant on the inside in the asylum, There's the fact the mention of the pencils that were discovered in Alexander's room on a few occasions. There's the evidence. There's the scribblings in the margins of the book that you've found. There's the suspicious behaviour of this nurse Evans having illegal contact with Alexander. But there's also these Alexander Roby's reference to these other people, this Edwards and this Quarry.
Yeah. I would like to know who they are.
Edwards is just a surname, isn't it? That's not attached to any of the books that we've read or looked at.
No.
No, we've not.
Malcolm Quarry is definitely a new name. We've not heard that before.
Yeah. But are they real people or not?
I presume there may be people he was talking to with
with Delia.
Yeah. So if he's retreated into himself, I think that's the end of the end of the talk.
Yeah. I'm assuming I don't recognise the names Edwards or Malcolm Quarry from my occulty.
No. Don't believe so. I'll just double check on that though. No.
What was in the room? A table? Were the books on the table?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we moved the table, so you looked at the books. Was there anything else in the room? A chair?
Sorry, I'll have to go back to the room description.
Was there a sink?
Have a look. Is there a barred window?
Barred window.
Yes. So the room is tiny, dim and chilly. There's a bed, table and 2 chairs. No possessions except for a stack of books on the table. A barred window gives a view of the sky.
Maybe just somebody have a look at the window. I don't know. It's barred. Nobody's interfered.
Can we see anything out of the window apart from?
So
it's too high up to really.
It's you can't. You could possibly reach it if you put the table on top of the bed, but it's quite high up. Yeah. So you got, like I say, you got a good view of the sky, or what you can see in this small. It's only a small window, maybe. It's not not even a foot across.
Luxurious.
So we will leave, I presume.
I will allow you to, if you're looking about the room, I will allow you to make a spot hidden.
Fingers crossed. Sniper.
Boom.
Oof, I see nothing. I'm just staring out the window at the stars.
Okay, right. So
you're thinking about that date. That date, what you had. That's all that's in your mind.
Okay, so you turn to you look about the room. There's not really. There's nothing. I mean, the room is pretty sparse. It's the walls. There's nothing here. And you're going to leave. Nurse Price unlocks the door. The secretary files out. And Nurse Price stands at the door open, waiting for you to come out of the room. And as you're heading out, something catches your eye. A mark on the wall near the door, on the north wall near the door. So you stop for a moment and go a little bit closer. You can see there's a small hole only about the size of a pencil. A small hole through the wall.
Which way, into the corridor or into a next room?
The next cell up.
Completely through into the next cell.
Yeah, it's only really small.
Can I look through?
You can, but you can't. It's dark. You can't. You can tell. You can see there's a bit of light, so you can see it goes all the way through, but
Does Gerald have any experience with holes in walls?
only glory holes.
So
It's a very
Nurse
tiny
Price,
hole.
Nurse Price comes and says, "What is there a problem?"
No.
No. I think
Just,
we need to talk about this outside, maybe.
just out of curiosity, I'll not look at what I've just seen. I'll look in the other direction. Is there somebody in the cell next door, pointing the opposite way of the hole in the wall?
Says, "No, that's
Is it?
cell 12 is empty at the moment."
Is it empty on both sides?
Oh no, there's a patient in the northern cell in cell 14.
Ooh, who is it?
That would be Mr. Harrywell.
What can you tell us anything about that patient?
He's one of our more troubled patients.
In what way?
It tends to be a bit violent, psychotic.
Mm.
And that was Harry Well. Is that the surname, or is that his name?
His surname.
Harry Well.
His surname, Harrywell.
Is that him we can hear laughing?
Possibly.
So just another question: Has Alexander had this cell the entire time he's been here?
Yes.
And the gentleman you just mentioned on the other side, how long has he been?
He's
in
been
his
here
cell?
much longer.
Oh, he was in that cell before
Yes,
Alexander arrived.
Mr. Harrywell is a long-term resident.
Okay. I mean, I should have asked all this to ask this of Dr. Highsmith, but who, on a daily basis, who has access to the cells? Do all the nurses have access to the cells?
So staff operate on a rota system. So at any given time, certain members of staff are assigned to an area of the asylum, and they have keys, access to that to those patients.
Only if they're rotated to do so.
Yes, exactly. So.
I'm aware of some slight infringements on the rules concerning a nurse, and I will mention Nurse Evans. When he was found to be breaking the rules somewhat. Was he here in the cell when he was found? Where did this occur? Was it in the cell?
I believe I'm not one to gossip, sir, but I believe Nurse Evans was found in Mr. Roby's cell. Yes, on two occasions when his shift would have had him elsewhere in the institute.
So how was he able to get inside the cell if he wouldn't have had access to the key?
Well, he has key. We have keys. There is keys. The keys are usable. It's a general set of keys. So a key for the cells. As you can imagine, if we lost, it would be if the individual keys for each cell, and we were to lose keys, it would cause
But he shouldn't have been in possession of said keys. They should have been handed in, surely, after his...
Yeah, that would be the case, yes, sir. Yes.
And he still works here. Amazing.
I can't comment on that, sir.
Would you like to?
No, I
think he has.
I can say nothing more than that. My job is very important to me. I need my job.
So, I think I've gained enough information. Do any of you gentlemen wish to ask anything else? I think I've got my notes up to date.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
So Mr. Reeves says, if there's nothing more, Doctor, I shall go and type up these notes, and I shall provide you with a copy of the transcript.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we need to ask the good doctor a few questions.
Right. He,
Follow up.
so he wishes you a good evening. And informs that he'll pass a copy of the transcript onto Dr. Highsmith tomorrow.
So have we been shown our rooms? Have we got a nice cell?
Oh,
Yeah, I know we said it was sparse, but I was kind of hoping.
So when Nurse Price leads you, but takes you back across the administration building. So when you get there, Dr. Highsmith isn't in his office. One of the administration staffs tells you that he's doing his rounds, seeing to patients. He's doing his evening rounds, but he's made arrangements for a meal if it is somewhat meager, and rooms have been prepared for you on the upper floor in the like guest rooms. So you're shown to the rooms, and they're very very sparse. There's no decoration at all. They're kind of bare plaster walls. There's a window that looks out across the front of the asylum down towards the village.
Please tell me it's got bars on it.
No, the windows do not have bars on them. None of the windows in the administration building have bars on.
God damn it!
Only the like the actual asylum part.
I insist I have a room with bars.
But yeah, so you basically got a bed.
Just so you can
There's
tell
a
your
wash.
friends.
There's a bed, a washstand, and a wardrobe, and that's pretty much it.
So, gentlemen, do you think he's been conversing with his
neighbour.
Neighbour, yes, through the hole.
You see, I'm wondering if that's where he's getting his pencils from, because that was a very
It's a pencil-sized hole
possibly
for
a
a pencil.
misleadingly pencil-sized.
But surely, why would a crazed, violent madman be putting pencils through a hole in a wall?
Hmm.
And who's made the hole in the wall? Surely that would require a drill. Very odd.
Oh, well, would it? Because if the guy's been there next door for years...
Or
But surely he's
So
not
it-
allowed pencils.
So you
Oh,
only
but
violent.
so you only spot because it's like really it's almost it's really hard to spot. You only spot it because you got that much of a success.
Do you think a pencil could go through the hole? Is it?
Maybe it'd probably get jammed in the hole. To be honest, it's like I say, it's about that size, but you and the thickness of the wall, you probably couldn't push unless you got possibly, but maybe not.
The cell door. It's a solid door. Isn't
Oh
it?
yeah.
the other thing is, Evans or one of the nurses might be going in to see what's his name, Harrywell, for whatever reason, and using his room to talk
Yeah.
to Alexander, so it's not as obvious that he's going in here.
Do the doors have openings in so you can stand on the opposite side of the door and look inside the cell? Could you talk through the door, kind of thing, like a prison door? Or are they
No,
fully
the
closed?
solid. There's maybe a small viewing window, but that'd be about it.
So it is like more of a speaker hole then. Do you think that little hole?
Oh right, yeah. Well, that's for you to draw conclusions.
Stick some chewing gum in it on both sides.
But yeah, so some food is you're told that some food has been prepared and left for you. So there's kind of a small sort of common room on the upper floor as well, where the staff eat and take breaks.
I mean, should we go and eat? Are we going to eat in the common room?
So that's where the food has been left. You can take it to your rooms if you want.
Should we try and engage with some of the staff, maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe see if that Evans guy's there, see what he was wanting to talk to the doctor about. He was wanting to speak to the doctor, but he just got fobbed off, didn't he?
Yeah.
Try and
Yeah,
befriend
maybe
him.
we ought to talk to him.
Yeah, befriend him before we pounce on him.
Yeah. Lull him into a false sense of security. Oh, well, play the actor a sense of security.
We can even tell him why we're here. I don't think it would be any harm. So yeah, we'll go communal room to eat our food.
Okay, let me turn off the
And
laughing woman.
if there's any staff.
Sort of when you first arrive, there's no staff, but when it hits at 9 o'clock that evening, a
Is
couple
that
of
the rush hour?
there's it must be a shift change or something, but for whatever reason, a couple of staff members come in. They seem a little surprised at your presence. Probably because maybe they weren't informed or didn't know you were going to be here or whatever. But only momentarily. And they're quite amiable. They greet sort of greet you and make themselves a drink and sit down at one of the tables.
Is Evans about? Is he one of the people?
No.
So
Is he on shift?
I'm not a very charming character. I'm not a very charming person. I was going to try and charm them and getting them into conversation.
Oh, I'm sure I am.
Win them over, like laugh and a joke. Because I'm sure they're.
Well, you can try and do that anyway.
I'm sure they've all got great
charming.
senses of humour working in a mental asylum. Maybe get them at ease and then get them to comment on Evans. Maybe just inquire about, drop it into the conversation about him being caught. Don't know how you would do that.
So,
because was it the secretary that confirmed what the doctor had said? He said, "I don't want to lose my job," or was it Price?
No, that was Price. That was Nurse Price. So yeah, the staff that's in here with you, they'll.
Oh, basically, I'll go more work route. So I'll inquire how long they've worked here. Did they like the job? Probably not. And just anything strange or funny happen while they've been working here.
Right. So they do. They mention. They mention Evans in passing, but not really. They don't really discuss it. They don't really talk about it. But when you ask about what's it like working here, has been anything odd working about here, and they'll like both look at each other and says, well, this is a nut house.
Is Highsmith a good boss?
Oh yes, sir. It's been not a bad word to say about the good doctor. It's pays as well, treats as well. It's
well, it's a hard job looking after.
It is, and then of course there was the murder last year.
Murder?
Murder?
Say what?
God,
Come again?
Yeah. Oh God, yeah.
What, in the hospital, in the asylum?
Yes.
I never read anything in the news.
It's been it's from what I understand, it's still under investigation, so it's been kept a bit quiet from what I understand.
Was it a patient, a blue on blue? Was it a patient against another patient, or was it a member of staff?
Well, a member of staff.
So the member of staff was
cut
murdered.
up something rotten, sir. Cut up something rotten. The blood and were running down the floors running down the walls and the floors.
And who was the culprit?
Nobody knows.
What?
They were
No
never
one
caught.
knows.
I really do want to request a room with bars.
There's, I mean,
Yeah.
the police didn't find any like concrete evidence. I mean, as far as we're concerned, it was that fucking nutter Harrywell.
And
He found his door were open.
was the member of staff killed in his room?
Oh, outside his
well,
room, yeah, in the corridor. Harrywell,
the
outside
corridor.
Harrywell's
Oh.
room.
Dreadful.
The door
How-
Harrywell's door was wide open.
Why was it open?
Good question.
What was the name of the member of staff?
Member of staff. Yates. John
Not heard that name
Yates.
Not heard that name before. Have I?
No.
Oh. And that was a year today, or
About a year ago, yeah.
would it have been October?
I guess it would, sir. Yes, about a year ago, yeah. October, November.
It's an unlucky month, isn't it?
Mm.
Had he worked here long?
Yeah, I think he'd been here quite a while. Yes.
Decent chap.
Yeah. Good man.
So you think he was stabbed to death? Was a knife
Stabbed. Oh
retrieved?
God, he was cut to ribbons, sir.
Was a weapon found?
No.
And you said you think it was Halliwell. I take it he was thoroughly investigated. Yeah, if his door was open.
Yeah, but yeah,
And apparently
the
he's
police,
quite
the police
violent.
don't think he'd done it, but
Why not?
I don't
How
know.
did-
You'd have to speak
a
to the police.
violent madman with his door left open and the murder just outside. It doesn't take a genius to join those dots.
Well, there was no blood on him.
And he swallowed the knife, so they didn't know it.
Well, I mean, yeah, maybe he stabbed himself and then hid the weapon, but
I'm quite upset that Dr. Highsmith. I won't say this to the staff, but to the characters, that Dr. Highsmith failed to mention this in the
yeah, it's a
conversation.
bit of a surprise,
Little,
bringing us up here.
little bit of a snippet he forgot to inform us of. What did he say? Bring the institute into disrepute.
Yeah.
It's like, has he covered this up? Sounds like it.
I'm not particularly happy about my life being put in danger either, clearly, with...
I mean, the glaring coincidence is they're not of a body being savaged with a blade, but no weapon being found at the scene.
Yeah. And that's never happened before, has it?
And our friend Alexander would have been in the his cell next door. There wasn't.
Yeah.
Did anybody hear any? Who found the body? Was it another member of staff? I presume.
Well, yes. So yeah, I mean, these two have they've gone back on shift, but yeah, another member of staff found.
Anybody that's still there, they don't recall hearing any strange noise like a shrill
Brutal murder.
Yeah, somebody screaming for the life.
Yeah, they just kind of like look at you funny and chuckle and say, just step outside.
Mm.
And like I said, they excuse themselves. They're going back on shift.
Well, enjoy your food, gentlemen. I think
Seem to have lost my appetite a bit.
Yeah.
I might sleep a little easier with my shotgun on my bed,
And a door
And some bars.
fully loaded and cocked, pointing at the door.
In a
don't
chair
wake,
wedged under the handle.
yeah, don't awake me too early in the morning, or I might shoot you. Oh God! So we're gonna have to have that out with the doctor, aren't we?
Yeah, I think
You
so.
can't let that slide. It's too much of a coincidence. I mean, I presume police were involved.
Were they
Were they? I don't know.
told even?
Yeah,
Like,
so
we
yeah,
wouldn't
so yeah,
we wouldn't want to
the
bring
attendant said
the
the police were involved. Yeah.
Well, they
asylum
wouldn't.
into disrepute.
I mean, he's already here. He's criminally insane, so they wouldn't hang him because he's criminally insane.
They just put him in an asylum.
Yeah, so I don't know what would happen there. It's a secure building, so the not really the possibility of it being anybody else, and his cell door was open. So
Possibly, I suppose.
we could try and talk to this Harrywell at some point, maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely might be an idea to have an orderly in the room for that one.
And insist he wears a straight jacket or is restrained.
Yeah,
Chained to the wall.
Yeah. Like Hannibal,
yeah,
like to mask on as well. So
Yeah.
seems reasonable.
So, is there anything else we should do?
Well, other than talk to the doctor about a few things. Who these people are, Edwards.
How big a town is? How big a town is it? Yeah, we need to ask him if he knows those names, don't we? Edwards and what was the other one?
Macquarie.
How big a town is it? What we've come through? Is it more of a village?
Yeah, it's just a village. It's like a farming village.
But would we presume there's a police station? They would have called like the local
You did
police.
not see a police station at all, no.
So the police would have come from like the next,
which
like the
probably
biggest town.
Hereford, sorry. Which is about what did I say it was? About 20 minutes away by car. Let's say I'll have a quick second.
There'll be a phone here, won't they?
There will indeed be a phone.
Meow. I hear a cat.
So the town of Hereford is 20 miles away. That's the nearest town.
So I can't think of anything else we can do this evening unless you want to sneak around.
I don't think we should be sneaking around just yet.
No.
Not when we just got here.
I'll distribute the shells so people feel a little comfortable in their beds.
Yeah.
I am going to load my gun. I've never fired a gun before, but I am going to load it. Discharge it into the wall.
Into the
air. So, yeah, I think we're kind of done for the evening.
Yeah.
So, like, tomorrow morning, conversation with the doctor again. He'll probably want to know what I think. I'll say that I need to probably interview him again. There's a few things I want to go over. We need to talk to that nurse, Evans. Mention the two names, what we got, and the murder, which he seems to have told us about, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Okay. So, well, do you want to progress?
Quite a lot of questions.
Yes, indeed. Of course, there's all the all the similarities between what things he said and the play that you saw as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
More strikingly, the song that he
Sang.
sang, which was word for word the song.
Yeah, in the
Well,
play.
we do know that it's all connected to the play that we went to because because of that, and I think I triggered him by drawing the sign, didn't I? So, because he started talking about the king or something, and that. So it's all connected. It's like everybody's going loopy, aren't they?
Mm.
But it's just a coincidence.
Yeah.
We've not gone loopy.
Yet.
No, we're fine.
It's perfectly normal to buy 4 shotguns when you go into an asylum.
I would say so.
I'm surprised no one's actually said anything about us bringing them into an asylum.
They probably daren't always shoot them.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there is that.
You are?
We're going hunting tomorrow. That's something
What
else.
do you mean you've got a problem with shotgun in the asylum?
We got to fit that into the diary. It's protection.
It's fine. It's all fine. Everything is fine.
I want to try and shoot a grouse with a slug.
And we're just then going to mop up the bits of grouse that are left.
There'll be a bit of feathers, some feathers
Yeah.
flapping around. That's probably it.
So you're going to retire for the evening?
Try to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so your sleep is perhaps a little restless this evening.
You reckon?
Although Harry gets a better night's sleep than Charles and Gerald. So you both dream. Charles and Gerald, you both dream vivid dreams, but different dreams. So Gerald, faces look up, pooled and expectant, and you sit with the others, the violin pinched between chin and shoulder, as you've seen others do, your left hand on the strings. The music starts up, and the orchestra crashes into its brief life. But are you the only one playing a role? Isn't the audience applauding and calling out in the wrong places? And the other musicians, they're competing, sounding their instruments randomly. The conductor points at you, you glance at your music, and there is the yellow sign. It writhes and squirms and seems ready to reach out for you. You must assuage it. Hastily, you start to play its rhythm, building the sound for yourself note by note. And you awake in the early hours of the morning. The sounds of your playing just disappearing.
It's a normal Thursday.
So Charles, you sit at the bow of the boat. It's a bright little vessel of polished wood with a white sail, and it moves gently across the lake in front of the breeze. You look down into the water past where your trailing hand disturbs the surface. It's spirit thick and grey. Is that movement? You pull up your hand, and a mottled shape balloons past you not far below the surface, then another and another. Huge marine creatures. Up ahead, the water slaps. The white and yellow back of one of the things clears the surface for a moment, then dives. You see it still. It's coming right at you. Bigger and bigger, and it rears out of the water fully now, looming above the boat like a cliff. You won't wait for this. You stand, you step off into the water, falling, eyes are closed, and you wake drenched in sweat upon your bed.
Well, interesting dream. And on that note, I think Charles will be leaving it there.
Yes, it's probably a good point to leave
Good
it.
point to end. Yeah.
Let's all leave. We'll just drive off.
Just as a finisher, I guess do I make the connection of what I saw in my dream to what Heather and
You can make that whatever connections you wish.
Okay.
But yes, there is certainly that similarity, isn't there? Yeah.
and what were her name? Not Jane.
Hannah.
Hannah and what's the one I went? What's the other?
Jean.
Jean, that's it.
Yeah, Jean is the one. Yeah, she mentioned something
Jean,
similar. Yeah.
Jean mentioned something similar.
Yeah.
That's why you dreamt about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like seeded your dreams.
Yeah.
Nothing suspicious at all.
No, it's all fine.
No, it's fine. Perfectly normal.
I do feel moving to Australia might be.
After we've burnt down your bookshop.
Yeah.
For insurance purposes.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there is quite a lot to unpack there.
I think we may be at the asylum a while.
It'll not take long to get all through that.
For us to get locked up there.
They'll not.
Yeah,
We've got shotguns.
Suspect it might be a.
We don't need pencils to make holes it well.
My notes are that bad. I've just found 2 more dates, which I was going to mention to the private investigator. 1911 and 1921, where they did census things. So she might be on the census, but you would need to know where.
Yeah,
what town served.
I would imagine a private investigator that knows this stuff would be checking things like that anyway.
So she'd definitely be on the 1921. She should be on the other one as well, shouldn't she? 1911.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she should be. If it's a real name. If it's not a real name, we're not going to
Then
get
we're knackered. Yeah.
So, next week.
Yeah.
If you haven't sussed it out either yet, this is a song as well.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about the Wikipedia thing, that link.
Oh, yeah. I'm not sure that that's going to tell us a great deal. But...
No, it's just...
Oh, the Robert Chambers.
Yeah.
Yeah, some nice fluff.
Background fluff.
Yeah, and they're also very good stories as well. Some better than others, but yeah, they're quite good.
Is on this map, is the castle an actual castle, or is it a ruined castle?
No, it's just kind of earthworks.
Earthworks, I think, yeah.
Got 2 pubs to go to.
Yeah,
That is true.
We should have slept in Papa.
No bars on the windows of the pub, though.
Well, we'll be leaving tomorrow evening. We're not going to get snowed in and trapped there. We'll be fine.
Of course we're not. The trains won't get cancelled.
Yeah.
What a stupid thought.
We'll go and shoot some cows. Buffalo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's always some pews in the church to burn.
So,
Oh yeah, the church, big church.
we need a title for the video when it gets uploaded onto Or even we're on here.
Guns.
I
Yeah.
think, there was the murder.
Secret
Murder in the asylum.
You what, sorry?
Murder in the asylum.
Murder.
One of many to come.
One of many.
Yeah.
Very well then, guys. I suppose we shall leave it there and let that play out. So we'll be.
Yeah, I think that doctor's got some questions to answer. He does seem to take a very lax view on general health and safety.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry, I did forget there was a murder.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, slipped my mind.
Yeah, but he can't afford the place to fall into like disrepute in the press. He'll lose his job. He's thinking about the staff.
Yeah.
He's got to make sure the staff
He's got
and
everybody's best interest.
patients,
Yeah.
interest of the patients, and all the money. He must be making a fortune.
Yeah, he's probably well off. Although he's got to maintain the place, and he has got to pay all the staff. But yeah.
Cover up the murders. Bribe the police.
Try and get the inmates to kill people or themselves.
Yeah. I've actually taken notes and everything.
I have, but I lost them last time. Look at those bad boys. No sense whatsoever.
Will there be any good next week?
Probably not.
Nope.
Not if I lose them. Right.
Just watch the video.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Happy days.
Right.
All
Cheers.
right, well, thank you very much.
Well, thank
you.
you.
Giving me
you,
some
So
things
we'll
to think about.
yeah, lots of things to think about.
Yeah.
So we'll pick it up again next week. Then yeah, I believe that's good for everybody.
Yeah.
Magic.
Absolutely.
Excellent. I shall look
Cool.
forward to it.
Right.
Happy days.
See
Cool.
you on the other side. See you
ya.
later.
In a bit. All right.
Catch you later.
Bye.